When battle ends and the water grow calm, a new love is born.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Tanjiro Mastered Water Breathing and Married Shinobu Kocho movie. Before we start, please go support Bell is Chase29 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Tanjiro is a male. Calm was what she needed after all the losses and complications that life had given her. She fell in love with another and chose him thinking that she would finally be happy and her heart would beat for the water pillar, but it wasn't so. Everything he thought he would feel, he felt, but not because of Tomioka, but because of the water pillar and last legacy of the solar breath, Tanjirou Kamado. Main characters: Shinobu Kocho. Insect pillar, 18 years old. I'm lost, I no longer remember what it's like to truly smile or the feeling of loving someone. Will you teach me what it's like to love someone, Kamado-kun? Tanjirou Kamado. Water pillar and last breath of the sun, 18 years old. I let go of the most precious thing I had left so that she wouldn't have to suffer a new fate from which she would be forever lost. I don't want that to happen again. Tomioka. Water pillar, 21s. I know you won't forgive us for hiding it from you, but Tanjiro, we did it for your own good and everyone else's. Will the four of us still be brothers? Sabito Sakanji. Water pillar, 21 years old. You already have the face of a man, but I still beat you, pillar of the last solar breath. Let's fight. Makomo Sakanji. Water pillar, 20 years. What are you supposed to be doing? The three of you aren't going anywhere. I won't allow it. It's time to rest. Who are you calling old lady? Sabito. Epilogue. I've made mistakes in several things throughout my life, but I always told myself I would never be wrong about my feelings, that I would know how to distinguish the person I loved from the one I didn't. But I failed, and I made the same mistake again. I tried to give my feelings to someone I thought I loved, but it didn't work out that way. Flashback. Tomioka-san, I have feelings for you. What do you mean by affection? I asked, puzzled by my words. Are you an idiot, Tomioka-san? I asked angrily. This uncontrollable man so often tested my patience. I don't love you as a partner or friend. What? Oh, so you love me? If you already know, why are you still asking? I said, now impatient. Why do I think you want to hit me rather than show me gentle affection? She said, arms crossed. It's your attitude. So this isn't a joke, I asked suspiciously. You told me the same thing 3 years ago. That doesn't count, I exclaimed. I only did it because it was an April Fool's Day dare. I explained it to you later. Did you believe me? No, I knew it was a lie because I overheard them talking that afternoon. It's rude to eavesdrop on people's conversations, Tomioka-san. That's true, but they were saying my name, so it's not rude to listen if they mention me in a conversation. Idiot, I'm not a liar. Can't you tell the difference between a joke and something that isn't? Kocho. What? I asked, annoyed. I'm flattered by your feelings for me, but I can't reciprocate. I don't love you, I have feelings for someone else. I'm sorry, Findel flashback. After his words, he disappeared, leaving me alone. That's why nobody liked him and everyone hated him. How could I feel love for that heartless idiot, even though he said he had feelings for someone else? A few minutes later it started to rain, which increased my annoyance, or perhaps it was hatred. When I arrived at the butterfly farm, I didn't speak to anyone. I just locked myself in my room and didn't come out until I felt hungry. Apparently the anger increased my hunger. That night I ate like Mitsuri did until I felt completely full, and I left the room to get some fresh. Maybe that would help, and it seemed to work. I was going to lock myself back in my room, but I stayed where I was when I saw a figure sitting on the ceiling. It was already past midnight. Why was it still on the ceiling? Had it fallen asleep? I jumped up and walked closer to the person. The moonlight helped me recognize the person sitting there. He was the water pillar and last breath of the sun, Tanjirou Kamado. Although we weren't friends or anything like that, we had spoken several times. Tanjiro was a pleasant person and had a sincere smile unlike mine, which hides pain and anger. Besides being attractive, his forehead scar didn't matter. It made him different and looked good on him. Kamado-kun, wake up, Kamado-kun, I called softly, pursing my lips and gently shaking his shoulder. A few seconds later, he finally opened his eyes. I recoiled at the sight of his expression. Even though it wasn't as cold as that idiot Tomioka's, it intimidated me, even though his eyes didn't show any annoyance or anything like that. When he recognized me, he smiled. I'm sorry, Shinobu, did I bother you? No, of course not. You seem uncomfortable. Is something wrong? He asked, concerned. I shook my head again and hugged my legs, looking away from his eyes. Until now I realized how beautiful they were and as kind as my sisters. He had a very pure heart. Are you angry? Why are you asking me that, Kamado-kun? Every time we talk you smell of anger, even though you always have a smile, but now your anger is stronger. Did something happen? If you don't want to say it, that's fine. I'm not ordering you to, but your anger worries me. You're my partner and also my friend, even if you don't know it. You always help me if I'm hurt or anything. It's nice talking to you even though you always seem angry. What was this I was starting to feel? My heart began to beat strongly. I confessed my feelings to someone, but it wasn't your turn. Although I don't know why I did it, I now realize that perhaps my feelings for him weren't love. Maybe you did feel something, but it wasn't for him, it was for someone who was with him. Maybe you chose the wrong person. I think so. That person must be very lucky to know that a girl like you has feelings for him. If I were him, I'd be happy, she smiled sweetly. I think I should go, I've been thinking for a long time. I hope we'll see each other tomorrow, she said and climbed down from the roof, leaving me alone. Who are the people with Tomioka? If I remember correctly, there are only 3, Makomo, Sabito, and Tanjiro. Makomo is a good girl and I sometimes talk to her just like Mitsuri. Sabito, I've spoken to him only a few times. When we have a meeting of pillars, we exchange a few words, but we don't get along badly. And lastly, there's Tanjiro. I've spoken to him several times because he's easy to talk to. His smile and gaze are captivating. No, it can't be. Could it be that I've chosen the wrong person? When I'm near Tomioka, I don't feel nervous or my heart beats like it did a little while ago. Yo gustaba de Tanjirou Kamado. Chapter 1. It was a quiet town. After that early morning, he left that night with his partner Makomo and Sabito Sakanji. I'm grateful Tomioka didn't look for him. Even after clarifying my feelings, I hated him. I wish Tanjiro could have stayed longer, a day or two perhaps. That would have been enough time to talk. But it would have been stressful for him if I had tried to follow him around like a child or a girlfriend, and I was neither. I was an adult, but I acted childish every time our eyes met. She had to stop looking stupid in front of him. A bear devouring people? I asked, intrigued. For the first time in weeks, I've been free of missions, but I still bought some things that AI had asked me for before I left. We call it a denless bear around here, explained the lady of the inn where I was staying. It ate many hunters from Mount Matagi. No wonder I thought the air around this rest stop was quite tense. Darling, don't say anything bad. It's best if you come back quickly, right? Yes, but I'm free for the first time in a long time and I can't really trust many people when it comes to buying herbal remedies. Besides, the fact that a bear is roaming around and eating humans is within my area of expertise, I smiled. So if there's anything you know about or sell, please let me know. The woman remained silent and looked at me confused, shaking her head, searching for any hint of a joke or lie before objecting, but the voices of some people interrupted her. Thief, thief. I swear I'm not, this is a mistake. Don't make false promises or lie. You're not a criminal because you're carrying a hidden sword. I'm a demon slayer, I don't hurt people. I came to this town because. That's what a thief would say, that voice. What's happening out there? The woman from the inn asked, getting up as I did. Some armed men had cornered a person and were tying them up, but you could still see their Hayori. Kamadu-san, he patted her back, calling her attention. Kachu, they gave you this mission too? I asked in surprise. I bit my lip and took a step back. No, I only came because there was something here I needed to buy, I replied. Looks like you're in trouble, I said, pointing to the men who were tying him up for the second time. When Kamado saw them, he groaned as if he were about to cry. I'm not a thief, and if I have a sword, it's because my job is to kill demons. He defended himself again. One of the men shook his head and raised his weapon. Don't move. It seems you're not very good at talking either, Kamado Tanjiro. You shouldn't spend so much time with Tomioka. He makes little effort to socialize. Many people hate him for that and more, I emphasized. Tanjiro started laughing, forgetting about the ropes that were restricting his movement. I didn't like it when he smiled, much less when he laughed. Every time he does that, I start to feel those damn butterflies fluttering in my stomach along with blushes that are hard to hide. You're right, Kachu. Talking isn't my brother's strong suit. Do you want my help? I can explain it for you. No, I don't want to bother you. You must be busy. Don't even try to take a criminal step or shot. You deserve to be behind bars for robbing and killing that family. Stealing and killing. If Tomioka were the one tied up, I'd find it amusing, but the fact that that man was pointing the gun at my coworker made me angry. Lower your weapons, I ordered, stepping in front of Tanjiro. You've got the wrong person. He's with me. We're both demon slayers. We came to this village on an assigned mission. Yes, this is a mistake. I'm not lying. I'm not a criminal, he said again. Lower your weapons if you don't want me to draw mine. I warned. The men around us took a step back. Thanks, Ko-yi. I called out worriedly, frowning in confusion as I looked to my side at a girl, no more than 15 years old, lying unconscious on the floor with a gun in her hand. Had he fired a shot? I didn't hear the sound. Do you know her? I asked, forgetting about the men with guns pointing at us, their hands trembling. She's the one I came for. He knows about the demon attack. Her family died and she seeks revenge. She has a fever. We need to take her somewhere to rest, then we'll ask her for an answer. Good. If you could have cut the ropes, why didn't you do it sooner? You could have escaped and not had to endure her screams. I murmured as I prepared an infusion for the girl when she woke up. The innkeeper's wife had taken us to the pharmacy. There was only one room, but that was enough for Yi. Everyone in this town knew each other, and now that girl was in everyone's sights since the rumors of the bear attack were all about her and her murdered family. If I did that, it could make the situation worse. After the murder, everyone in town is on high alert, and the police distrust anyone who seems suspicious, or in other words, anyone who isn't from around here. You're very kind, Tanjiro-kun. I wouldn't have been able to endure it. I learned it from Makomo. Sabito and Jiu seem calm, but they sometimes shout at each other or at the demon slayers when they have to train them, like last week. Telling you everything they shouted would be an insult. And what do you and Sakanji do? We almost always turn our backs on them. Sometimes Makomo can't stand them anymore and stuns them. I couldn't do that. I only use violence when necessary. How beautiful. Is he still sleeping? Yes, I sighed and touched the girl's forehead. Her family is dead and now she seeks revenge. From what I've heard, she has no siblings. Her mother died young and she only had a father. These stories are common in our line of work. Is your story the same? I asked with a smile that quickly disappeared the moment I lowered my head. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked. I think he's waking up now. I'll give him the medicine. It's okay, I have to. I'll be right back. Silly girl, I shouldn't have asked. He probably did too. WHHH. I turned around quickly and looked at the room. The girl was awake and looking at Tanjiro, scared but also with a blush on her face. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Take this medicine, you'll feel better. This is the pharmacy. Now drink, you'll feel better even if it tastes bad. I tried to encourage her. He looked at us suspiciously but still took the glass and looked at it fearfully. What's wrong with it? I asked, seeing the bubbles. It's better if you don't know. Shinobu made this medicine. She's very talented at these things and so on. Am I talented? I jumped in surprise and stepped back when I saw the dog in front of me nuzzling my leg and hand with its snout. No, stay away from me. What is a demon? They were once human, but they change when demonic blood enters their bodies. This is almost always due to battle wounds. Demons can live for years, even centuries, gaining strength by devouring humans. Even if all their limbs are severed, they don't die unless their head is cut off, which requires a special sword. Is your sword that special one? See Lama Nichiren. If they're not criminals, what are they? Why did they come to this town? Shinobu and I are demon hunters. We learn special killing techniques. They are criminals. We don't kill people, we hunt demons. I'm not deaf. You said they don't kill people, but you also said that demons used to be human. Demons kill families and innocent people. They're not what they used to be. They've lost their humanity. If there's a demon who's never eaten a human and chooses to starve to death, I'll take him in and give him my love until he dies, but there hasn't been one like that before, I interrupted. Yi-san, please, Tanjiro pleaded, but she refused and grabbed her weapon and coat. I am a Matagi. I will have my own revenge. Thank you for your care, she said angrily and left with her dog. Are you all right, Kamado-san? I asked, seeing him lower his head again. I was crying. We have to follow her, otherwise she'll die. We are pillars. Our job is to kill demons, even if they were once humans like us, she whispered, wiping away her tears. What is your past, Tanjiro? Chapter 1-2. After Yi left, I put on my uniform and grabbed my sword. Thanks to Tanjiro's sense of smell, we were able to track her down. When we entered the forest, Tanjiro took my hand. I'm grateful he didn't see me blushing like crazy. When Tanjiro realized our hands were clasped together, he tried to pull away, but I wouldn't let him. His hand was warm, and he had never held our hands before, which made me happy. I erased her trail. There aren't even any paw prints from her dog, I muttered, a little annoyed at not finding any clues. If we were late, Yi would die, and we couldn't let her die, Tanjiro said. Apparently, Matagas are good not only at hiding their tracks. I lost their scent. You're the only one who can find her. She'll die if we don't get there in time. Let's go, I urged him. Tanjiro looked at me for a moment and then headed into the forest. I smell something. It's the smell of your dog, but it's not the same anymore. It also smells of blood, he said in a low voice. Reluctantly, I separated our hands to run until we reached a fixed point on the mountain. Her dog was dead, and Yi was in the snow trying to separate herself from a demon. Tanjiro. I called out as I saw him run towards the demon, katana in hand, and cut off its arm with a swift, almost invisible movement, separating it from Yi. Shinobu, please take care of her. Are you sure you don't want help, Kamado-san? I can send you to the next world with my poison. I showed my katana. Wait, Yi shouted, don't kill him, he's my father, please. That's not your father anymore. He's a monster who ate your family and killed your only companion. Those who devour people when they transform lose their humanity, she whispered, gripping her katana tightly. A true human wouldn't have done what he did. That man before us is just a monster. You have to accept it, Yi. That's not your father anymore. No, Yi, I stopped her as she tried to walk towards them. I know it's difficult, but that demon is no longer the gentle and loving man who cared for you since your childhood. He's just a demon who won't stop and will kill humans. But it's Dad, please tell him to stop. He started to cry and held out his hands. Tanjiro was fighting him and was about to use a technique. Water breathing, fifth form, rain after the drought. After saying those words, he cut off his head. Even though it was night, rays of sunlight obliterated the demon along with Tanjiro. Was that a stroke of kindness? I'd never seen Tomioka do that before. He wasn't kind to demons but Kamado. I sheathed my katana and approached Tanjiro. The man's body was disappearing into ashes. My eyes widened in shock when I heard his whisper before he vanished. I'm finished, Tanjiro whispered, sheathing his katana as I did. Yes, I'm finally done. Shinobu, I turned around quickly and saw Yi. She was pointing her gun at herself. I wasn't going to arrive on time. I started running and jumped on top of her, grabbing her wrists tightly. When Yi saw me, she started crying with a smile. Why have I been hiding it now? She asked herself. Let me die. Oh, Yi-san. Dad turned into a Maniating demon. Taro and everyone, even my house is gone. I know his message was for you. Live, Tanjiro whispered softly. It's difficult, I know, because I understand your pain, but live, Yi, you still have people who won't abandon you even if you don't see them anymore. Yi-san, please just resist your feelings. That's how I saved myself too. Kamado, Yi whispered, collapsed in the snow. Thank you. I don't like to interfere in people's lives and problems, but Kamado-san, I'm worried about you, I said sincerely while savoring my food. What a good cook. Are you worried? Your personality is different from that of your sensei, brothers, and pillars. You are kind and your eyes are gentle. Thank you. But you have determination. When you have a goal, you don't give up until you achieve it. You're strong on your own, but you're not ashamed to ask for help when you need it, and you offer your help without complaint. To dispel the regrets of the slain, to prevent more victims from appearing, I will relentlessly wield my sword against the demons, but I will not trample on the pain of being one. Nor will I trample on those who lament their actions. For the demons were human just like me. It's a shame that others don't think the same as you, including me, I murmured, taking a sip from my glass. But I won't make fun of you. If that's what you think, I'll accept it. Thank you, Kocho. When you were with Yi, you acted kindly. Although that's your personality, did she or her story move you? I used to be the oldest of 6 siblings, 2 girls and 3 boys. The first one I lost was my dad, then my mom, and then all my siblings together. They were still children. That happened when I was 13. I'm sorry. Okay, I know I shouldn't forget him, but when I remember him, it doesn't hurt as much anymore because I recall the happy times we shared. That's better than their lifeless bodies. I would like to help. You're already doing it, thanks for helping me recently. You're welcome, you'd do the same, right? Don't doubt it for a moment, she smiled and took my hand. Thank you for being here. Her smile is very beautiful. I'm happy you're here too, Kamado-kun. Chapter 2. Tanjiro POV. See you soon, Tanjiro-kun. I enjoyed talking to you. I hope we meet again. Our meeting was purely coincidental but pleasant. We had never been on a mission together. Although she was only mine, she helped me. I sheathed my katana in my guillotine and opened the gate. I was the youngest in the family, but that didn't matter. I went to the selection with Sabito, Jiu, and Makomo when I was only 11. They were 14 and Makomo was 13. The 4 of us together were a family. Makomo played the role of a mother. She was often calm and affectionate, but Sabito and Jiu easily angered her. Makomo has never gotten angry with me or complained or hit me like she did to me several times and didn't apologize. I think I'm his favorite brother. Makomo, Jiu, Sabito, I called but received no answer. The silence was strange. Makomo, where are you, Nisan? I dropped my katana on the floor and ran to the only place that came to mind. I hope to find them. Jiu, Sabito. I called out in alarm when I saw my brothers lying face down on the ground with blood around their heads. What happened to you? Who hit you? Was it a demon? I asked from my knees. Neither of them moved or said a word. Their hands were both raised. It might bother you, but it's your decision. I'd be happy to give it to you. It'll fit you perfectly, I promise. She smiled and nodded. Murmured a huntress, her gaze fixed on the floor. Who hit you? I asked again, this time moving their arms. They still didn't move. And Tanjiro, Makomo called excitedly and ran towards me with open arms. When she was in front of me, she threw herself on top of me, wrapping her legs around my waist and her arms around my neck. I'm so happy to see you. How was your mission with Kocho? She asked, giving me a kiss on the cheek that made me blush. She may be my half-sister, but she's attractive. Why are they bleeding? Because they're perverted idiots who act like they've never seen a woman's body in their lives, she replied calmly, stroking my hair. Diana, this is the guy I was telling you about. Isn't he cute? She asked the blonde girl in front of us. The color of her eyes was the same as Kocho's. I liked being with her. Shinobu is a beautiful girl, but also intelligent. Yeah. But I'm sorry, he already has 3 girls who like my sweet brother and they're pillars. The first one is always angry but has a smile that confuses everyone. The second one smiles often and is strong, plus she has unusual hair. And the third one is exotic. She talks to several boys and flirting is one of her main specialties, but as you can see, Tanjiro is too innocent to notice. Three girls like me? I asked, puzzled. The first one is starting to love you, and yes, I know the word love is strong, so let's go with something gentler. One loves you very much, and the third, well, she's flirtatious. A smile, different hair, exotic. Sabito asked, unsteady on his feet, covering his nose to stop the bleeding. Yeah. I smiled nervously as I smelled their emotions. Makomo was angry and was going to explode if either of them said anything about Diana or a woman's body. It was you. Sabito blushed when he saw her uniform, or rather her breasts. You know, our little brother. Jiu, on the other hand, was a real firecracker. Try putting the... You did nothing. Yesterday you said you didn't know what it felt like to touch a woman's breasts and you just touched Diana's. I pointed at him accusingly. I almost forgot, do you want to eat with us? I asked. Makomo was still on top of me, but it didn't bother me since he didn't weigh much, and we often did it that way when we were kids. Even though she was 2 years older, she liked it when I sometimes held her in my arms. She rarely asked Sabito to do it, even though he was better because he was taller. Will Tanjiro cook? I asked with a smile. Makomo got off me and hugged me, resting my head between her breasts, making me blush. Jiu, Sabito, start making dinner. Don't make a catastrophe like last week. It was so bad that not even a starving dog would eat it. Do you want me to tell you what you made, my sweet Diana? He asked, his smile having turned terrifying. I have to go, thanks for the shirt, she said before quickly leaving through the door and closing it. Makomo could be much scarier than Shinobu when she wanted to be, so what should we have for dinner? She asked cheerfully. I bought some salmon to make daikon, but he doesn't deserve it, he's a slob. Stop hitting us, Jiu spoke for the first time, being helped up by Sabito, though he was still unsteady on his feet. I will, I promise. So. But I won't do it if you keep acting like children. You're 21, not 5. Sabito, stop being a pervert, and you, she pointed at Jiu, stop being antisocial and reserved. All the pillars hate you for it, and your coldness is plain to see. If you want people to approach you, try to lie a little about your attitude because you won't be able to do it otherwise. She scolded them, still clinging to her chest. Come on, Tanjiro, I bought some sweets before we came, she said happily, taking my hand and leading me to the kitchen. Thank you, how do you know about my mission? Your raven told me you encountered the insect pillar and about your attitude. It's about your family, isn't it? She asked gently. Come here, I'll give you a hug that will make you feel better. Thank you, Makomo, I love you very much. Me too, Tanjiro, I whispered, kissing my forehead and stroking my hair and back. Those 3 girls know you've never had a boyfriend, but they'll be sad to learn you've already had your first kiss. I smiled, touching my lips, making me blush again. Our family was very unique. I'm finally back. I thought I'd never write on Wattpad again, but here I am, and I'll try to keep at it and write. Who do you think those 3 girls are? We all know the first one is our beautiful poisonous butterfly fairy light female. Shinobu will face several obstacles, relieved face. Is Makomo also in love with Tanjiro, weary cat face? Or is she just a friend who protects him from girls who are only after the beauty and innocence of the water pillar and solar breath? Don't believe appearances, face savoring food. Good evening, or rather early morning, Chapter 3. Good morning. I heard the cheerful voice of the water pillar before she wrapped her arms around Mitsuri's waist, startling her. Mama Komo-san, it's a surprise to see you in these places. Huh, I actually come around here a lot, but I never give my name. I just buy what I need and leave. Sorry for the surprise. It's actually 3 in the afternoon, I murmured. Makomo, like me, is short, but unlike me, when she cuts off a demon's head, she doesn't use poison. She smiles often, but of the 4 water pillars, she's the second strongest after Sabito, yet agile. None of her 3 brothers or water-breathing demon slayers have ever been able to defeat her in a fight or training exercise. Several pillars have challenged her, but they've all ended the same way, with severe blows and injuries. When she gets serious, her brothers have to separate them. It is said that during the trial, a grotesque demon almost ripped off her limbs, but Tanjiro saved her. The second pillar of water hates the grotesque. Yes, but it's the first time since that meeting that I've seen them again. I'm sorry for scaring you, Karanji-san. I'm going to buy some Sakura matches. Do you want some? Of course. Kachu, yeah. Then let's go. Those Sakura machi won't eat themselves. Why are you alone? Mitsuri asked, finishing her second plate of machi. Sabito and Jiu are hurt and Tanjiro is with them. My brother is a sweetheart, don't you think, girls? He asked us while savoring his dessert. I quickly lowered my head and popped a machi into my mouth. Does she already know? Makomo-san is very intuitive. Makomo, Mitsuri called, setting her plate aside. Are you and Tomioka siblings? You two look the most alike, besides Sabito and Tanjiro. No, we were all adopted by Irakodaki-sama, and not all 4 of us at once. Each of us has our own story and past, and we weren't the only ones, but the others were devoured by that demon. How many in total? I tried to ask, but she interrupted me and ordered another plate of sakura-matchas. They're so good. Was Tanjiro the last one after Jiu-san, or? Yes, it's not a nice memory. That night we were saved by the sun. The sun? Yes, when we arrived it was already getting dark. Irakodaki asked us not to follow him. He and Tanjiro have the same instincts and he knew something bad was happening. When we saw the house, even though we had already witnessed demons killing humans, this demon was incredibly cruel. Sabito and Jiu covered my eyes, but it didn't matter anymore. There was blood everywhere in the house. I'll always remember the look on one of the children's faces. His eyes and mouth were open and terror was reflected in his gaze. He died after screaming for help. Irakodaki fought the demon, but it was stronger. If the sun hadn't risen, the demon would have ripped his head off. We helped bury the survivors, but when we were about to bury Tanjiro, he opened his eyes and screamed. His face and clothes were stained with his own blood and that of his siblings. I saw him trying to help, but it was all in vain. He was only 10 years old. That's Tanjiro's past. There's no need to know mine. She smiled and began to eat calmly. Mitsuri had stopped as well as I. How can Tanjiro have compassion for demons? I wonder what my brother is doing right now. He's not a very good doctor and nobody understands things when he tries to explain, but I'm sure those three will be fine. She smiled before picking up a chopstick and eating the sakura-matcha in one gulp. How many adopted children did the previous water pillar have? I asked before clinging to Mitsuri, who had stood up and positioned herself in front of us. Including us 13, and I know he won't adopt another one. Bring me some slow-cooked salmon with radish. Bring me a large bowl of ramen, onigiri too. Simmered soup rice, I started repeating as soon as I left our house and left them alone after stopping the bleeding and wrapping their faces in bandages. I think Makomo-san went a little overboard this time. Simmered. Who are you going to cook for? What? Oh no, I'm not going to cook for anyone. It's a request from my brothers who were hurt by Makomo. I don't know why he hit them, but I spoke without noticing the person behind me. I'm sorry. Kamado-kun, you should get rid of that flaw. Flaw apologizing for no reason, he replied, is advice. I'll keep that in mind, Obanai-sama. What are you doing sitting in the tree? I asked my companion. At every meeting, she's always sitting in a tree with her snake, Kaburamaru. I've only told Sabito-san, but from the first time I found Obanai-sama attractive. We don't talk much since she doesn't talk much, but when we all kneel, she's by my side. In my opinion, all the pillars are beautiful, but Obanai. I like it. I have a better view of everything, but I also walk, I said, crossing my legs. Yes, I'm going to buy. Slow-cooked salmon with radish for the antisocial Tomioka, ramen for Sabito, and onigiri for the two of you who are hurt because of your sister. Yes, you already said that, I said calmly before hopping down from the branch. Would you mind if I joined you? I asked from beside me. No problem, let's eat together, I smiled, but my laughter turned to fear when Kaburamaru was on my shoulder, then to a blush when he pulled us close to Obanai and touched our foreheads. You. Don't tell me we're the same age. Your earring is very pretty, it looks like mine. I changed the subject and accidentally touched it, also lowering one of the bands covering his mouth. It has a scar. I didn't know, that's why. Wait. I think I already ate. He tried to excuse himself, but I took his hands, pulling us close again. I don't dislike it. I won't ask how you got it done, but please don't leave. For the first time, you're not speaking to me with respect. I promise I won't do it again. I just hope I didn't upset you, I whispered, making her smile even with the bandages covering her mouth. Let's go. Chapter 4. A Tanjiro ya détente. It's my fault, it's not. I'm not going to die, he repeated for the 10th time. After the snake pillar said yes, they walked in silence. Tanjiro, who had been keeping his head down to hide his blush and nervousness, raised it when Obanai stopped. Seeing that he had raised his head, she stood in front of me. I became worried when I caught her scent. Every time we've been together, she's always been calm, her speech low and slow, as if she weren't afraid or worried about anything. It made me a little jealous, but at that moment I was a little uneasy. Tanjiro, let's go somewhere else. Okay, but aren't we going to eat and then buy food for my siblings? We can buy food somewhere else and we can make the food for both of us at your house. I'm not a very good cook and I don't want to hurt her. You won't, I'll help you. Then yes. After those words, we turned around. It wasn't surprising to find other places to eat, but as we had agreed before, we did buy some sweets. I didn't know that Obanai-kun's favorite sweet was manju. After finishing our shopping, on the way home we encountered some demons hiding in an old house. When we entered, several were already dead. The only survivor was already in the demon's clutches. Obanai was the first to draw her katana. When she killed the first demon, I snapped out of my reverie and drew my own. The demons weren't as weak as we thought, and there were even more hiding. It was a fierce fight in which we were injured, but we managed to finish them all off, and also the person who had been bitten by the demons. When we finished with the demons, we thought it was all over and we could go back. We were already talking about what we might do next, and I even mentioned my older brothers, but a voice interrupted us. Obanai positioned himself in front of me as a shield when the person who had been bitten by the demons tried to attack us. We both thought he was dead. There was nothing more we could do. That's what Obanai told me as I approached. Perhaps there was a glimmer of hope, but the demons had already drained almost all of his blood. We saw it when we entered the room. Even though it was a little dark, we could still see him. Neither of us thought she would become a demon. The person who did wasn't an older man, but a young woman our age. Seeing her reminded me of my mother and sisters. They had all died that day. Only I had survived and been adopted by Irikodaki-sama. I will always be grateful. I couldn't kill her. Obanai knew it when I took a step back. I'm grateful my partner didn't give me a dirty look and did it for me. I didn't want to look, I just turned away. When I looked again, she was already turning to ashes. It was finally over. Obanai had opened the windows, but before he could, without having cut her throat, the demon wounded him in the leg. But you're hurt, I had to help you. He was a converted demon, you know that. Becoming a demon uses up energy, weakens you, and they are hungry. Exactly, Tanjiro. Yes, you've spoken to me respectfully again. I'm sorry. But we're almost there, just a few minutes. If you run how far at a normal pace? 20 minutes. Then it'll be 20 minutes, I say before getting down from my arms and grabbing the cartridges from the purchase. Why does she remind me of Shinobu? We're here, my brothers must be asleep. Did you give them something to sleep on? He asked when I opened the door. As before, everything was silent. Obanai-kun, can you wait a minute? The kitchen is down that hall. I'm going to check on my brothers. They look like mummies, our companion murmured as she saw us enter the kitchen. She was already chopping the ingredients for the ramen and the pot was already boiling. It was Tanjirou's fault, Obanai-san. Sabito asked in surprise as he removed one of the blindfolds, just like Jiu. Upon seeing her, he approached but took a step back upon noticing the knife in her hand. Hola, Sabito-san, Tanjiro. I'm sorry. I apologized before going to her side to help her. Sabito and Jiu exchanged glances before approaching us. Don't apologize if you don't have a reason. I told you that from the beginning. And what are you doing? Jiu asked. And what about what we ordered? Sabito asked. We didn't eat because of Makomo's whim. That girl hit us hard this time. Be careful, you know she likes us to call her girl. Yes, I'm very aware of that. She accepted it when we were little, but not anymore. She was always calm and still is, both before and after a fight. Is she the only woman, or was there another one? Obanai asked after remaining silent and starting to stir the soup. Very few. Our mentor prefers to train men, and it's not due to discrimination or preference. It smells nice, she smiled as she approached. But Tanjiro, you haven't answered us. Why did you take so long? Well, some things happened, I whispered, but I still tried to explain, though they didn't understand until Obanai explained for me. When she mentioned the young woman who became a demon, Sabito glanced at Jiu with a bit of unease, but it was quick and I didn't see him as he was busy cutting the salmon. Obanai, on the other hand, did see him. Why didn't you send us a note? Jiu asked. We would have helped. Thank you, Oni-san, but that's in the past. Didn't you run into Makomo? Sabito asked this time. From what Obanai explained, since you're terrible at that sort of thing, you should have run into her. Makomo said she wouldn't go so far to meet people she hadn't seen and missed. Could it be that? But he was interrupted by Obanai, who popped a candy into his mouth. Do you like it? It's manju, you seemed hungry. Yes, I have it. It's not so bad, but it's not my type. I preferred. Chapter 5. Tanjiro POV. Tanjiro, can you come with me to the butterfly estate? Shinobu has an antidote for something I asked her for. What kind of antidote does my sister need? After cooking with Obanai by my side while my brothers ate, I tended to the wound inflicted by that demon who reminded me of my sister. But I had seen it myself. Irikodaki placed her on the side where she almost buried me, but I screamed just as she was about to throw dirt on me. Obanai called me when he saw I was lost in thought, but I replied that I had a memory. I'm grateful he didn't ask me anything. I didn't like dwelling on the past. I preferred the present and future. The past cannot be changed. When we left my room, my sister was standing in front of us, arms crossed and looking very unhappy. Obanai showed her the bandages on her leg, but Makomo didn't say anything and turned her back on us. Apparently my sister didn't like Obanai. I'm ready, Makomo announced, jumping up. Let's go, she smiled and took my hand. We'd better take the train, it'll only be an hour. Oh yeah. Tanjiro, you know I've always believed in you. I have no reason to doubt, but did Obanai do something? Does something mean anything? For example, he touched your shirt, or while you were putting the bandage on his leg, he said something inappropriate to you. Well, I only touch my head and cheek up to here. I pointed almost to my lips. I'm not your mother and I can't tell you who you should or shouldn't be with, but Obanai is exotic and knows guys, to put it mildly, she said as we sat down on the train and it started moving. Do you know? Yes, but she still has the respect of everyone who knows her, including me. Me too. You're so good and gentle, you don't see the malice or ill will in people, only in demons. I stroked his head and hugged him. I'm so happy to have a brother like you. Thanks to you, good things have happened in our families. Like what, you'll know for yourself. We'll have a few minutes. Talking took up too much time. Oh really? Let's change the subject. Essay channel BU POV. Who is that antidote for? Kano asked. The water pillar is coming. Makomo-san, yes, go with AI, she needs help. Yes, he nodded and started walking straight to the kitchen. Many injured hunters had come in. I'd never seen their wounds before. They were different from any we'd treated. All they'd said was about a very grotesque demon and that they'd gotten out alive. They didn't know how. What on earth are they talking about? Shinobu-san, Makomo called, raising her hand to get my attention. I was about to reply, but I fell silent when I saw who she was with. You and my brother would make a lovely couple. If you weren't afraid of falling in love and didn't wish for death, you could even have a family. A man can dream. How does she know? Makomo-san, you're very intelligent. Family. No, I shouldn't fall in love, but that water pillar and last breath of the sun, his smile dazzles me and distracts me with his mere presence. Or when I see him fight, maybe I could have a small chance for now. Good afternoon, Shinobu-san. Tanjiro said cheerfully this time. Makomo, here's the antidote you asked for. Thank you so much, but what? She wondered to herself as she saw a crow coming in our direction. When it was in front of us, it landed on Makomo's outstretched arm. I'll be right back. You look strange, Tanjiro-kun. Is something wrong? Can you give me a glass of water, please? Sure, follow me, I said, and we went into the only free room. When he sat down, I went to the kitchen. Here you go. Thank you. Tanjiro-kun, can I ask you a question? Yeah. Are you? Tanjiro, Tomioka's voice called out. I made fists when I saw him in the doorway. The water pillars have a mission. It's been a long time since we had one together. I'll be there in a moment. I'm with Wait. How did you get here? Did you follow us? We took the second train, but that doesn't matter. It's very important. They haven't explained why the boss is waiting for us. Kocho, are you here? Yes, since it's my house, do you allow us? I don't think it'll be possible. It's 2 hours until nightfall and the place is far away. Get out, it's rude to interrupt conversations. Haven't your brothers told you that? They tell me a lot of things, but that's never it. Actually, I think Makomo told you yesterday, Tanjiro murmured with a nervous smile. Okay, I'm coming. Shinobu was going to ask me something. Yes, go away, I ordered, grabbing his arm. First Obanai, then Mitsuri, and now him. I know Tanjiro isn't mine, but why did he have to interrupt this moment? It was just a quick question, that's all. It's just a question, so go away, I said, pulling Tanjiro along. Makomo and Sabito are waiting for us, only Tanjiro is missing. I thought you hated demons, Kocho. I haven't stopped doing it. Then let it go. That's why nobody likes you and everyone hates you. What? Brothers, I know, I interrupted, but a question only lasts a minute or two. I know your brothers would accept. Because they're not as blockheaded, serious, and antisocial as you. But you like this blockhead, serious, and antisocial guy. You told me so yourself after the last meeting. Now give me back my brother, she ordered without showing any emotion and took Tanjiro's hand. It isn't true. Yes, it is. Oh, so Kocho likes my older brother. I'm so happy. Finally, my brother has a woman who loves him and it's not Makomo. Are they dating? When will they start a relationship? He asked curiously. Can I be the guest of honor at their wedding? He asked again, managing to slip out of my grasp. We're not getting married. We both said at the same time. For once we were right about something. No, Tanjiro, the only one I want to marry is you. Yes, I admit I said it, but your little brother said he likes someone else, I said angrily. Jealous. Jiwoo, why did you say no to her? He asked, frowning. Shinobu-san is not only beautiful, but she has many qualities that make her unique. You won't find another like her. Kocho, even though she's alone, is still going strong. She's an excellent hunter and a prodigy to many, and I'm one of them. It's not just her beauty that makes her unique. If you don't know how special she is, you don't deserve her. If she had feelings for me, I would accept her and feel lucky, he finished, taking my hand. I quickly looked away to hide my deep blush and tears. His words had been. Tanjiro, I don't want him. I was wrong. I want you. I'll wait outside. Don't delay in asking your question, Kocho, she said, taking her leave and exiting the room. I'm sorry my brother can be your crying. Did something happen? Was it my brother? Did you get something in your eye? Was it my fault? I promise I'll talk to him. That's not it. That time I told him my feelings. I chose the wrong person. He wasn't the one I wanted. Shinobu Sama I shouted, entering the long, but it's important. We have all day to talk. I'll listen to you later. Now go away, I ordered. AI jumped in fright before quickly closing the door. Shinobu, I have to go, but I promise that when I'm finished I'll come back and listen to you. Tanjiro. I'll try to come back quickly if I don't. Don't say the word, promise you'll come back. Promise me, Kamado Tanjiro. Goodbye, she said, opening the door but then stepped back, turned around, cupped my face in her hands and kissed me on the cheek. I promise I'll come back. She smiled and this time she really left. Tanjiro. Chapter 6. Plate POV. Did the boss give any information about the demon? I asked as we walked through the woods. After saying goodbye, I saw my brothers arguing. I couldn't hear what they were fighting about. When they saw me, they stopped talking, and it wasn't the first time. They've been doing it since last week. We're supposed to trust each other. Sabito was the first to approach, then Makomo, and finally Jiu. He said he was late and didn't care about the question Shinobu wanted to ask me. Reluctantly, Sabito and Makomo left without asking, thanks to Jiu who pushed them until they were outside the butterfly estate. He doesn't specify, Sabito replied. And what did the letter say? Why are they stopping? I think we're there. Turn around, Makomo pointed out. A mansion. I had a mission with a drum demon a long time ago. When I played a drum on its body, it made the room shake. Then let's jump, my sister smiled, jumping as if she had a rope. We must destroy that demon. He has killed many demon slayers and pillars. Few remember their names, their breathing techniques, or even that they existed, Jiu explained. Don't fall behind. Yes, what was wrong with them? Everything seems calm. There are no wounded or lifeless bodies in the rooms, Sabito murmured, opening and closing doors. Jiu looked out the windows and Makomo in hidden places, while I, on the other hand, used my senses. It was strange. There was a strong smell of blood, but it was nowhere to be seen. We hadn't found the demon either. Was it hiding? Let's go into this room, Jiu said. We haven't seen anything in that room. Desolate like everyone else in this mansion, the master wrote that a demon lives here. If it were daytime, I'd understand if it were hiding, but it's nighttime now. It must have come out, Makomo murmured, arms crossed. I can smell blood too. There's no sign of but what is. I screamed as a demon forcefully opened the door. You grotesque demon, get away, Jiu ordered. How many people did he have to devour to take that form? Sabito asked with disgust, his brow slightly furrowed. We both felt the same way. In all our years as pillars, we'd never seen a grotesque demon like him. Just looking at him made us gag. 1, 2, 3, 4, the demon counted on all his fingers. I'm so happy. I love devouring strong hunters. He licked his lips. Pillars of water welcome. How does he know our title? Makomo asked before jumping back as the demon reached out to grab her leg. I hate grotesques. Get out of the way, Makomo. Water-breathing 11th form calm. Jiu said, stepping between our companion and the demon as it launched attacks left and right. Not bad, water pillar. You stopped all my attacks, the demon applauded. But I haven't even started yet. Did you think that was my strongest attack? Huh, he shouted, starting to laugh. Today's pillars are so naive, I'll enjoy finishing you off. Her laughter echoes in my head, I whispered. If what he did wasn't his strongest attack, then what is? Jiu asked, covering his ear. The demon couldn't stop laughing, reveling in my brother's groan. You're all idiots. My previous meals weren't as stupid as you, but none of them have been able to finish me off. I'm fed up with this demon, Sabito growled. Let's all go, let's weaken him until he can't regenerate, and then let's all cut off his head. Haven't you seen how many heads it has, Sabito? Makomo asked sarcastically. The demon had already stopped laughing but was still listening. This demon is like the one from the competition. Stop talking, Jiu scolded them. Water breathing, we all said at the same time. 9th position, Makomo began. 4th stance, Jiu speaks. 3rd position, I followed him. Sexta postura, I finished Saturday. Chaotic splash tide surge dance of currents winding whirlpool. We shouted simultaneously, causing cuts all over the demon's body, but why doesn't it turn to ashes? Sabito whispered, gripping the hilt of his katana. That's why I called you idiots, he smiled, smugly regenerating. To finish me off, you must destroy this mansion first. Long ago, a flame pillar tried to do it, but he died in his own fire. I am bound to this mansion. The stronger I become, the stronger this house becomes too. No pillar has ever attempted what that idiot did. Only a pillar of fire or rock can do it. He shouted but fell silent upon seeing Sabito's smile. So just one pillar of fire, huh? And what about a solar breath? Makomo asked, kneeling before the demon. Thank you for making our work easier, Jiu said gratefully. A Tanjiro. I know, I smiled. I'll search for the survivors if there are any, my sister murmured, sheathing her katana. No, you're not going anywhere. You'll die just like all the other hunters whose lives you took. He stopped her as she tried to go for the door. Sabito and Jiu stood in front of her, their katanas pointed at her. We'll weaken you until Tanjiro has finished, they said at the same time. Sayonara. Makomo closed the door. Let's go, Tanjiro. Oh yeah. Then I want you to explain to me why you kissed Kocho. Don't kiss her, sister, we're on a mission. I understand. You go one way and I'll go another, but what a surprise, the rooms that were empty before are now full of dead people. I wonder if the other rooms are too. How did he do it? Burying all these dead will take me all night. Oh, I know these hunters, I like them. And this is the last one. Ah, I'm finally finished. Thank you for helping me, you're the best pillars and brothers. The first part is true, the second part is sarcasm, said Sabito. Makomo smiled before punching him in the stomach, sending him to his knees. Did they kill him? I asked Jiu. When Makomo hit our brother, I ran to his side. He seemed to have some injuries. Yes, he tried to regenerate and create a double. Sabito put into practice the 12th one he created. You three have created your own breathing techniques. I haven't created any. Does that make me weak? Of course not, Tanjiro. You're incredibly strong. Strength isn't defined by that. Have you forgotten that besides being the water pillar, you're also the last of the sun's breath? Only one man ever used those techniques. After him, no one even tried. Only your former relatives knew that technique, but none of them were demon slayers. You're the only one, and that's what makes you different and extraordinary. That's why so many girls are after you, Makomo said, trying to cheer me up. Stop making excuses and tell me how to change the katana's color. I don't mind having water breathing, just teach me please, Sabito pleaded. From the first time I managed to change the color of my katana to red, Sabito was the first to get excited, then Makomo. Alone so our brothers wouldn't notice, Jiu asked me how I'd done it. After 5 attempts, when the Nichiren blades clashed, they changed color. That same night I told him all the forms of the solar breathing technique, starting with the first and even the dance Dad taught me. In winter, as Dad always did, I did it after years. Sabito was the first to find out and put things away. Makomo, surprised but also excited, jumped around and tried to imitate my movements. When I finished, Jiu put my kimono over my shoulders, Sabito put on my shoes, and Makomo hugged me. Since that day I have continued to do it every winter. My brothers were special. Now let's go home, Makomo said, raising his fist. Wait, I stopped them as they started walking. I have to go to the butterfly estate, I promised, I whispered, blushing at Sabito and Makomo's smiles. Well, let it all be for loves, they turned around. A love? She's not in love with me, I said, but they didn't hear me. Makomo started humming softly and shaking her head. Sabito was whistling softly, and Jiu, my brother, wasn't doing anything. Don't take as long as you did 2 hours ago, Jiu requested when we arrived at Kocho's residence. Let's go. They smiled except for Jiu, who was always so grumpy about everything, and they pushed me. I'm not hurt, so you don't need to worry. I'd better not show you my burn. As I was about to take a step, someone covered my eyes. Who am I, Shinobu? So how did you know? She asked, removing her hands. It could have been Kana or AI. Your wisteria perfume is unlike any other. I love it. I'm back as promised. I'm not hurt, so you have nothing to worry about. And that burn, how sharp. Sabito has more, as does Jiu, but not as many. Shinobu, the badly wounded who arrived yesterday, went to the forest. Wait, I have the letter, here's the name. The forest Tanjirou. Zand? Is this the letter Makomo received today? Yes, what did you say? I asked and tried to take it from her, but Shinobu took a step back. A few seconds later I heard my brothers scream. Tanjiro, where's my letter? Makomo asked. That's not the letter, it's this one, where is it? I showed it to Shinobu-san. I don't remember the name of the forest we went to, but it says so in the letter, I explained. What's the name? I asked Shinobu. She wasn't looking at me anymore, but at my brothers. Shinobu-san, you're crumpling the paper. Sabito, Jiu look hurt, and you, Makomo, look very tired. AI, give the pillars a room. Tanjiro, I'll help you with the burn, she said, crumpling the paper more tightly. Come on. She began giving me gentle nudges after putting the letter away. My brothers watched us with fear. What was happening? What did the letter say? Chapter 7. SHINOBUPOV. Tanjiro, I called, running after him, but Kamado seemed to be ignoring me. Damn letter, I exclaimed. Please wait, don't do something you'll regret later. Regret? He stopped and turned around. Yeah, and what about them? What about him? I shook the letter. I should have thrown it away or torn it into 1,000 pieces, but if I were Kamado, I would understand. Please calm down, I tried to approach him, but he backed away. I can't, Tanjiro. Let's see, the burn isn't that big, how did you get it? I asked, touching the wound. Did the devil do it? No, I did it myself. Yourself. To defeat the demon, I had to destroy the mansion first. He explained that long ago a pillar of flame tried to do it but died in its own fire. The demon seemed bound to the mansion. The stronger it became, the stronger the house became, he explained. I understand now, this is going to burn. Don't worry. I told you, I whispered and put the alcohol back in his hand. And what pillars could defeat him? Only a pillar of fire or rock, that's what he said, but I think others could do it too. Not all of them. For example, the serpent pillar, love, and insect. The others are, no demon is indestructible, I clarified. Now apply this ointment every morning and night before bed. You'll have a scar, but it won't be very big if you do as I say. I will, I promise. Aw, Tanjiro, you're so cute. And what did you want to tell me about the badly wounded? I asked as I bandaged half of his arm. What? Oh yes, I think those hunters went to the same forest we went to and tried to kill the grotesque demon. I've never seen a demon like it. The name grotesque suits it perfectly. I'll go see them later and I'm done. Can you move your arm properly? Yes, thank you. Do you already know the name of the forest my brothers and I went to recently? What I wrote in the letter? She asked. Tanjiro, do your classmates tell you everything? I asked, crumpling the letter again. I should hide it or give it to Makomo without Tanjiro knowing. This is their problem. I can't and won't get involved. What does it all mean? You guys get along best among the other pillars. For example, Tomioka, who I think is an idiot and his attitude and face alone well. That's why nobody likes him and everyone hates him, but he actually has people who do like him. Irikodaki-san, Sabito, Makomo, and you. Yes, we went through a lot together. Irikodaki raised us like a father. He's not someone who shows tenderness or much compassion, but he always cared about our well-being. He didn't give us the things we wanted, but what we needed: food, clothes, shelter. Those were the three important things. She smiled and I bit my lip hard at the sight of her smile. I can't let him read the letter, I can't let him. Saisi, I still haven't forgotten what he told me, Sabito and Jiu, before we went to the selection. After we got ready, he warned us he'd break our bones if we lost. He hugged Makomo, but that's what he said to us. She pursed her lips. Is something wrong? She asked when she heard me laugh. I'm sorry, you're so cute every time you pout, I said, still laughing as I watched him pout again and blush. Miss Kocho, may I come in? AI's voice was heard. I'll be right back, wait here. I got up and opened the door. AI looked at me with fear. She'd rarely heard me laugh. What's wrong? It's about the hunters who arrived yesterday. Oh yes, Tanjiro explained something to me about them. Are they feeling better? Yes, I'm surprised. One of them looked like he was about to die, but everyone is fine. Yes, they have a few wounds, but they aren't deep or serious, she explained. Good, tell the first hunter to explain to the boss about the grotesque demon and how they were healed. Yes, I have to go. She said goodbye. I'm back, Tanjiro. What were you saying about oh no? I thought to myself as I saw him with the letter in his hand. No. Stop, I yelled before chasing after him. Since when is the fourth water pillar so fast? I said no, I said before opening a door and going inside. I don't like this, I don't like it at all. My sister was alive and they didn't tell me. We the three pillars whispered, clearly at a loss for words. Tanjiro was trembling, but it was with rage. He had never been seen like this before. We didn't know how to tell you. I know it's not easy, and Makomo tried to explain, but Tanjiro interrupted her. We've been not just partners, but brothers for years. We promised it when we passed the test. No lies, you know it. You know how much I suffered that night you saw it, and yet you didn't care. I shouted. All the hunters who were hospitalized opened the doors and tried to approach, but I stood in front of them and extended my hands. Tanjiro, please stop shouting. To your rooms, he ordered. We didn't know how to tell you, Makomo repeated and tried to touch him, but he slapped her hand away. No. What about Irikodaki-san? Did he order you to do this? Sabito held up the letter and Jiu exchanged glances before his brother or partner. I know you won't forgive us for hiding it from you, but Tanjiro, we did it for your own good and for everyone else's. Will the four of us still be brothers? Tomioka asked uncertainly. Are you serious? Not only is my sister alive, but she's a demon, the same kind of demon we hunt. What if it were the other way around? What if I were the devil? Would they hide it from my sister? Would they kill me? She asked, tears welling in her eyes, but she didn't let any fall. Answer me, you don't need to talk anymore. Goodbye. I thought Tomioka was the only idiot, but I've realized that all three of you are, I muttered, crossing my arms. He wouldn't let us speak, Sabito excused himself. Would they have said yes or made up a lie? I asked. Here, Makomo, and I didn't give it to him, he found it himself. I handed the letter back. What are you waiting for? Aren't you going to follow him? He's your brother, don't you love him? We love him. Then what are you doing here? Start walking, you have legs for a reason. I yelled, hitting them and pushing them to the door. You're hurt, but you can walk. If Sensei Kano whispers. Now it's their problem, not Kano's. I'm not going to explain what happened. Goodbye, Tanjiro, Chapter 8. Shinobu POV. Good morning, Shinobu-san, greeted the love pillar. Hello. You seem different. Is something wrong? Now that I think about it, have you seen the fourth water pillar? You know who I mean. He hasn't been seen with the others or on missions, but he does them, she explained uncertainly. Tanjiro isn't the same as before. He hasn't returned to his siblings. They and the former water pillar regret keeping it from him. They had opportunities and didn't take them. That letter wasn't the only one he sent them. There were more, and they were even the ones who received it, I whispered, almost in a low voice. Letter, I don't understand your words. Could you be more specific? Mitsuri asked. Do you remember what Makomo-san told us that afternoon? Tanjiro's passed. Oh yeah. One of the siblings I buried, or rather a sister, is alive, and he didn't know until 3 months ago. His comrades in the previous pillar hid it from him all these years, and it would have stayed that way if he hadn't read that letter Irikodaki-sama sent to the water pillars, I murmured. Mitsuri froze for a few seconds. When she came to, she sat down next to me and began to move my arm. What did the letter say? he said 3 times in a row. That his younger sister Nezuko was alive. She had been asleep all these years but woke up a few months ago and she's a demon. Apparently, the demon that was there that night turned her without her realizing it, since she, like everyone else, had closed her eyes. When Irikodaki returned to the house to check on the buried ones, he saw that Nezuko had gotten up and she wasn't the same girl he saw that night. Now she had fangs, claws, her eyes had changed. In short, she was a demon, and we know that becoming a demon takes energy and takes time. She tried to kill him, but when she was on top of him, her eyes changed and she called him Dad. After those words, she closed her eyes again, he explained. And you hate him for that, for having a demon sister? No. Now I really don't understand why he's acting this way. We heard about Tanjirou's past. If I had a living relative I thought was dead, I'd be thrilled. Would you be too? Well, yes, he wants to be alone. Sometimes, when we say we want to be alone and we're going through tough times, we really need someone by our side, and you two get along well. You've lost family members just like him. Do you believe it? Yes. Do you have any idea where he might be? I asked. He no longer lives with his brothers, but rather with his roommates. No, but I think I have an idea. Then go ahead. Tanjirou's a good kid. I'm sure he won't mind you at all. Quite the opposite, my friend smiled. I have a mission nearby. I just came to say hello. Good luck. She said goodbye before turning and running off. I hope you're right, Karanji. Les? I think this is the place. What a small town. Mountain, I've arrived. I thought you were dead. I buried you alive. What kind of brother does that? I heard his voice. I think it was a terrible idea to come. Shinobu, you can do it. Just say hello, and if she doesn't respond, turn around and don't come back. Say hello and never return. None, but that doesn't hurt you, brothers. Shinobu. I heard you wanted to be alone. I'm here for an order. That's why I came, but I heard you were here too, and I stammered, playing with a strand of my hair. Have you seen her? Spoken to her? No, she can't articulate words properly. Moaning and grunting are her way of speaking. She has a bamboo-like appendage that prevents her from biting people, he whispered, getting up from the floor where he had been kneeling. How do you know if you haven't seen it? An hour ago, my mentor spoke with me. He explained what happened and what has transpired. Until recently, I didn't know a demon could sleep so long, he whispered. That much? I asked. I couldn't tell him I'd read the letter and the others Makomo-san showed me. So much had happened without Tanjiro noticing. Would he be angry if I told him? From that night until 2 months ago, Nezuko was with Irikodaki-san. He and my classmates gave me so many excuses I've lost count, but never a sorry or forgive me. Jiu said they did it for my own good and everyone else's. What is that good? He shouted, punching a tree. Oh, Tanjiro, every time I remember that night, I have nightmares. I feel the same way you do. I also lost my whole family. I couldn't protect them, but your sister is alive. I tried to calm him down, but I dared to touch him. I don't want them to kill her. I know demons must die, but she's my sister. Everyone died that night, and I thought she would too, but she was turned. She didn't ask for it. Has your mentor spoken with the boss? I asked. Tanjiro nodded. Yes, we the Pillars have a meeting tomorrow, and it's about either killing Nezuko or letting her live. I don't want to kill her or watch them do it. She's my only remaining family member. He began to cry before collapsing and hugging his knees, hiding his face. The boss will ask you to talk about that night, right? I don't think everyone is on my side, only Sabito, Jiu, and Makomo, but they hid it from me and... You're missing someone else, I said, standing up and extending my hand. Who? He took my hand and stood up. Me? You said you found her thinking she died like everyone else, killed by a demon, but your mentor saw otherwise. If she's been asleep all these years, it means she hasn't killed anyone, which is a point in her favor. I don't like demons, but I'll be on your side. Thank you, Shinobu-san. You don't know how important your words are to me. I see. Chapter 9. Why have they loved our brother? Okay, Sabito. This isn't right. You're a pillar too, no matter what anyone says. I won't accept it. Jiu, help me. Shall we begin? Kaoyujiro asked. Where's the box? Makomo asked. It should be here, she pointed. Has anyone taken it? No, the pillars replied. Are you talking about this box? Ashina Yugawa. It's so good to see you again, Makomo. Before I go, I must say you have a lovely sister. Too bad she's a filthy demon, but I don't care. Last breath of sunlight. You have 2 titles, good for you. Sane me, don't do it. Makomo, Mitsuri, Shinobu, Jiu, and Sabito pleaded as they saw the wind pillar draw his katana. He smiled and moved the box away, but not to place it on the ground. Instead, he pierced it with his katana. What's wrong, Kamado? Aren't you going to say anything? She asked Tanjiro, who was being held back by Obanai. She had jumped down from the tree and grabbed his arms as Kamado stood up and was about to run straight towards Shinazugawa. Tanjiro's eyes widened and he gritted his teeth. I see, so you don't mind if I do it again. What? He just wants to make you angry, don't play along, Obanai pleaded. He did it. Get away from him, my sister, you damn idiot, I yelled angrily. It seems you're making me want to do it again. Have I told you I like the screams and moans of demons? He asked, his smile unwavering. Right now your little sister is moaning in pain. Call me that again and you'll give me another reason to. I'll kick your ass and make you cry this time, Makomo interrupted, stepping forward. That girl is Tanjirou's sister and he's my brother, so she's my sister too. Why don't you tell everyone how this girl made you eat dirt and gave you a lovely scar that you seem to be hiding? She asked, smiling. Sanmi, on the other hand, stopped smiling and drew his katana, which was still piercing the box. Is it true? Kocho asked in amazement. Makomo nodded. Drop the box or else. Tanjiro shouted again, trying to take a step after freeing himself from Obanai, but he slipped when she put her foot down, forcing him to sit beside her. It's Ma. He just wants to make you angry so the master will find out and punish you. Your sister and he had him when they fought. Don't be like him, Obanai tried to reason with her. Shinobu, seeing them, crossed her arms and pouted without anyone noticing. She was jealous. For the first time, she wanted to be someone, and that someone was Obanai. She was jealous, not because of the way she hugged him well, a little yes, but mostly because Tanjiro had calmed down. He no longer felt anger, only annoyance. If he does anything else, I'll headbutt him, he warned. Obanai smiled and stood up with him. The master will arrive soon, and when he finds out what you've done, he'll reprimand you. He didn't order us to do anything against the demon younger sister of the water pillar and last solar breath, Tanjirou Kamado, Obanai said. He'll decide that after hearing Tanjirou's words. The water pillars, those who support Kamado and those who don't, will also speak. He finished. Does anyone want to say anything? He asked the pillars. They all shook their heads. The serpent pillar was right. Damn snake, Shinazugwa muttered, but before he could finish his words, Tanjiro ran towards the pillar. Even with his hands bandaged, he leaped and... Not only have you wronged my sister, but you've also spoken ill of someone who has done nothing to you. You're despicable, Sanmi Shinazugawa. I don't care if I get punished, I'd do it again for no reason. He spoke with his head on the floor before standing up and facing the box. If you're going to do anything, you'll have to go through me first. Or the gate. The boss is here, the girls' voices were heard. Everyone looked up before kneeling with their eyes on the ground. Hello, everyone. We're glad to see you in excellent health, sir, said Sabito before everyone else. Before coming here, I was told that there had been problems between the pillars. We promise it won't happen again, Sanmi said, touching his forehead. Liar. Before the trial began, a person came with me. Yurikodaki-sama, exclaimed the water pillars upon seeing the former water pillar and the man who had cared for them in their childhood. Yurikodaki-san was there that night. He's taken care of Nezuko all these years, but Tanjiro will speak first. Narrating my entire life might bother some people, so I'll just talk about that night. But first, I should say that I had a large family, 6 siblings, 4 boys and 2 girls. My father died the year before, and being the oldest, I had to take care of him even though I was still younger. To make a living, we had to sell charcoal, but I didn't that day. While we were all asleep, he arrived. My mother was the first to find out. It all happened very quickly, but I remember the words he said after killing my mother, Hanako, and then I believed Nezuko since she fell too. And to think you'll die with just this small amount of blood. I suppose I simply can't create a demon who can conquer the sun. After his words, Yurikodaki arrived. Who was the demon? Muikaru asked. Muzan, he replied, surprising the other pillars. No one has ever seen it, how come you did? Tenjin asked incredulously. Does Muzan want to create a demon that can go out in the sun? Well, yeah. There has never been a demon like this before. If he succeeds, he will be invincible, Rengoku said. I thought Nezuko was dead, I swear, that's why I buried her with them. If I had known she was actually alive, I would have carried this box on my back always, he said. She is the only thing I have left alive from my family. We believed it too, Makomo, Jiu, and Sabito said, raising their hands. We followed Yurikodaki-san without him noticing. He ordered us to stay put, but we followed him to the mountain. We were curious, Sabito said. When we arrived, we saw our mentor fighting a man. We thought that's what he was until we realized he was a demon, Tomioka continued. From afar and up close, he looked like an elegant man. Curly hair, a long-sleeved white shirt, an open black tuxedo, black trousers and shoes, but his skin was sickly white like a corpse's. His eyes were like a cat's and plum red. He also had sharp blue fingernails on his hands, Makomo explained. They all died. But one survived, Muikaru Takatu spoke for the first time. Does anyone have anything to say? Us, Shinobu and Mitsuri raised their hands. Tanjiro has been a great demon slayer. We know he has compassion, but he still doesn't back down and fights, Mitsuri said, standing up. Say what you will, we all know it, and Nezuko is a turned child. We know this trial will not only decide Nezuko's life, but also whether or not Tanjirou Kamado is expelled from the Demon Slayer Corps. And if they do, keep in mind that you will lose a pillar who, like us, has given everything, Shinobu said without getting up. As Mitsuri said, Nezuko was turned by Muzan like anyone who has the misfortune of being turned. It's not Muzan who can bear Muzan's blood. I hate demons, but I will not decide the death of a woman who was turned not by choice and hasn't killed anyone. Our job is to save people from the demons they have killed, not to take them away. That's what demons do, not us. We are demon slayers for a reason. Yuriko Daki-san, it's your turn, please speak, the master requested. That day I went north on personal business with the three of them. A man who had lost his family to a demon months ago was called crazy for saying there was a demon hiding in the mountains. No one in that village had ever seen a demon, only him and us. That man lives up the mountain. I'm no longer a pillar, but I wanted to see it with my own eyes, he began. Tanjiro forgot to tell them that we also knew he had died and was almost buried, but he woke up not as a demon like his sister. Were they going to bury him? Obanai asked, surprised. Yes, I asked Makomo, Jiu, and Sabito to take him to the village and ask for help. It was a few hours later when his sister, who was also buried, woke up. She extended her hand, which protruded from the ground, and then she was completely. Zombie, Muakairo asked. No, I knew she wasn't human when I saw her eyes, teeth, and hands. Nezuko attacked me. Ha, you see, that girl is a demon like all the others. There's nothing different. Sanmi began, but was interrupted by the master. Shut up, you rude person, Obanai ordered. Tell me again. Sanmi, the boss called. I'm sorry. Like any demon, she attacked me. She was hurt and wanted blood. The first thought of anyone turned into a demon is to drink blood, but she stopped and called me Atasan. After that, she lost consciousness and fainted. I didn't let Tanjiro know that his sister was alive, and perhaps it was a mistake to keep her hidden all these years. When she woke up, Nezuko didn't attack me again. Maybe it's because of how long she was asleep, but she's forgotten how to read and write, and she can't speak properly. She's forgotten all her memories. The only words she knows how to say are Atasan and Tanjiro when she doesn't have the bamboo stick I gave her to prevent her from killing. I want to see her, Muakairo said, raising his hand. Shinazugawa said at the beginning that she was pretty right. No one said anything. Yuriko Daki took the first step and opened the box. The first thing seen was the face of a young girl. As she emerged, she hid behind Yuriko Daki. The words the older man said to Nezuko were not heard. She nodded and slowly stood up until she was the height of an adult. Nezuko, wait, the pillars stopped him. How does she resemble a demon? The mist pillar asked again. Her nails, she looks cute. You were right, Sanmi, she is cute, though she doesn't look anything like Tanjiro. She looks like mom. Boss, you have the final say. Nezuko will live, but if Kamado Nezuko ever ends the life of an innocent person, Yuriko Daki, you being the person closest to her these past years, will end her life, he said. Yeah. Tanjiro, you will still be a pillar. Thank you to the people who were on my side. Tanjiro, we're not blood brothers, but being without you, will you forgive us? Will you come back to us? Jiu asked. Of course, can you take the ropes off me? I want to hug my sister. Of course, they said before the pillars could try to untie him. Rengoku arrived first. Tanjiro didn't wait and ran towards his sister. I missed you so much.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.